just want to thank, a special thank you to our alumni here. They took the time out of their workday to join us, and some of them drove really far. So thank you, and I feel that it's so important that everyone hear their stories, because this is our why. Okay, this is our why.
So I grew up in Los Angeles, and a little bit about my background. I grew up in a environment where there's a lot of violence, domestic violence, gangs, and all that stuff. The reason that I got into SciTech was because I got kicked out of my high school, and it wasn't safe no longer for me to be at high school. So I was sent to Long Beach Job Corps, like Mr. Stack said. And that's where I got my high school diploma, and that's what really led me to change my future. I was raised in Imperial County, either Calexico or Mexicali, and I was also raised in a single parent household by a mother who always demonstrated to me that education was first and foremost the thing that was going to lead me to better opportunities in life. She was not only someone who was academically accomplished in the US, but also in Mexico, where she graduated with honors from the Normal de Educadoras. Unfortunately, it likes to throw little curveballs. And it resulted in me having to I was forced to drop out of school in 10th grade. When I was just a mom raising two kids on government assistance, that I realized that I needed to find an alternative. I needed to find a way that I could someday provide for them the best possibly I ever could. And that is what led me to SciATech. It was me seeking out a way to get my high school diploma, which is, as we all know, the very basic thing that you will need to find anything that will provide for you a livable wage. And then I found that, and then my life changed completely. My name is Jocelyn Luna. What led me to SciATech, my mom suffered deportation, and we lived in El Centro Lake since I was in kinder, and we had to live to Mexicali. My life changed like a 360. And I was very good at school, but I don't know, the depression or this chaos that happened with my mom, that she was unfortunately in jail, changed me completely. And I started to get really bad grades in school. And honestly, I just didn't care about school anymore. I just wanted to be over there with my mom. I didn't want to leave her over there and make by herself. But I didn't have her anymore in No Central. I had to live with a cousin there, and I didn't want to. I wanted to be with, in that time, my boyfriend. Was really wild, changed completely. I was a totally different person. With having straight A's, I started to have F's and everything. I was just so wild. Then I got pregnant, decided to drop from school. The worst decision. I didn't go back to school until when I was like 22 years old, and because I went to a place where it's called One Stop over there, and they talked to me about science. Because in that time, I was already 22, had 3 kids, and I wanted to give about a future, and I was like thinking different now. And they told me that SciTech can help me get my high school diploma. So when I was 22, I decided to go back into my high school diploma, and since then I haven't stopped. A little bit about me. I'm Alessandra Tarta, and I am in Los Angeles, California, born and raised. I started my own journey when I was about 16 going to 17. My own high school experience was not good in my own time. I had a lot of problems at home. I had a lot of problems in school. Because I had a lot of problems at home, I was not able to focus in school. I would ditch class on purpose because I was not able to even be in class anymore because of everything that had going on in my life. I had straight F's. I wanted something different. I got help from actually going on a visit at my doctor's office. At the time, I was living with my grandmother. And then she got word of the school. Some way, somehow, I believe a nurse was the one that told her about the story because she had her own daughter in the school. I went and asked, and I thought it was lovely. I thought it was lovely the fact that it was an independent school. It was online. It was at your own pace. We were able to work um, based off of our own lives, right? We had kids, job, anything going on. So going into school, then I realized that I wanted more and more. Like I had more time. It was more flexible for me, right? So I started working at 16 years old. I had my first full-time job, and I managed to do school work. I accomplished it with everyone equally. I honestly thank everyone for, their help and everything, and I couldn't be more grateful. I really went from having the lowest GPA ever to having the highest GPA of my academic career, and I was so proud of that. I got student of the month. I was in the student council. I was coordinating events, and I even spoke in graduation. To me, that was a great accomplishment. Thankfully, SIATech, I mean, it really, again, just like it changed their lives, it changed mine. I was walking down the hallway and I was sagging my pants and I didn't have my shirt tucked in. And all I hear in the back was like, "Hey, mister, you might want to pull those pants up, right?" I said, "Go get that shirt right there, too." And I'm like, who's talking to me right here behind me? And I see, I'm like, oh, it's a principal. And then he's talking to me normal, like a human being, humbly. He comes with love. He's coming with caring. He's not yelling at me. He's not pointing his finger. That's when I realized this guy's different. He's different than my principal that I had at my previous high school. See, my principal at my previous high school never gave me that attention, never talked to me like that, such as Mr. Status. So by having that experience from a student point of view, it's good to have that when you're coming from a negative point of view of an environment. So Mr. Status was the most impactful experience I had while I was in that site as a young student who was trying to just get their high school diploma. Teachers were supported right there, right away in the door. They were right there shaking your hand, saying, "Hey, good morning. How you doing? Are you ready to do our work? Great, awesome. We're here to support you. If you need anything, let us know. If you get stuck on a problem, please let us know." And it was just like that on a constant basis daily. And I really appreciated that because my previous high school, I didn't get that attention. You come to the class, they don't know your name. You sit down, they take roll call, and you can leave. They don't even care. So that was a basic difference with the teachers that I had on previous experience to now. Everybody was kind, they were welcoming, they showed a lot of love, they care about the students, they knew some of the students' experiences. So they knew that, let me talk to this person, let me talk to the students, see how they felt. And that was one of the great things about SciTech. Dr. Gordon was the first person that came to the hospital after coming from a gunshot wound in 2006. And I just wake up after coming out of the ICU, intensive care unit, and then it's on my left hand side. And there's this guy coming with a yellow, orange jacket, a helmet on his helmet. Who the hell is this person over here? I'm just coming off my drugs and they just injected me. I was just like, who is this guy? And he's getting closer and closer. I was like, oh, what's up, Gordon? His name was Mr. Gordon that time. He had to go doctor. And that made me an impactful because I'm at the lowest bottom of my life. I just got up from, coming out of the dead, I was just like, damn, I don't know what to do with my life. And here comes Dr. G, he was just like, "Hey, how you doing, man? Gosh, man, what happened?" And he gave me some inspirational words, to pull myself up and be more positive. And that made me think about my life. It's like, man, I really need to change what I have gone through because this is something I need to do. So I would have to give it up to Mr. G, Dr. G, and always be there for me and supportive, especially as I got out of there. He was supportive through my college years as well. So I really appreciate people like Dr. G, Mr. Stacks, and other people that are here that I haven't mentioned, but I just appreciate every single one of you, staffs, teachers, anybody, even the graphic designer people, even the IT. You guys all make an impactful for a reason. If it wasn't for every single person in here, we would have never been here right. Well, SciTech is a, it was a community to me. It was a place where I found a safe haven. Now, just my entire schooling experience I had with them and the El Centro location was life changing. So that remember I mentioned like life throws curveballs at you? So I did end up being a victim at a very young age. From I was groomed by a person who would become my husband and would force me to drop out since the age of 13. Uh, Now, during the time that I was enrolling in SciTech, I was in a complete isolation mode. But with the staff of SciTech and Now Central, all the teachers, they provided me with genuine support and genuine care. And it is palpable as soon as you walk in. And during the entire time, the ladies did not know what was going on. And I was most definitely not the best student. I was told, make sure you stay there a long time. Don't do your work because that way we can keep getting our aid and you don't have to leave the house and you don't have to work. And nonetheless, they would push me. They would help me. They made sure that if I was doing some work, I could come in and I would they made sure to make me know that it was safe for me to do so. They didn't, again, not knowing anything, they made sure to go that extra mile. And always just with genuine care. And you guys have no idea. I was like, you do. The impact that that has on a student. There is such a difference between a teacher who is just there, they're there to do their job, and that's it. That's the end of their day. There's a teacher who's there to do their job because they care, because they want to make a difference, and they really want to bring some change to that student's life. So they had just the entire experience was a huge and significant portion of my life, and I am eternally grateful for this opportunity that I was granted. The impactful experience I had at SciATech is when I got to sit with my mentor teacher, Evelia, and talk to her about um, my situation with my family, my kids, the stress, and the way she listened to me um, and advised me and supported me to continue and not not judging me, giving me chances to complete work was for me an impactful experience because that didn't have that in my house or in my past school. Um, Also, my graduation ceremony was also an impactful moment for me because I never thought I was gonna be standing up there, getting my high school diploma, having a ceremony. I thought like when I dropped from school, I thought that that was already over, like I wasn't gonna be able to be in that moment that all like the for example the grad night that I had with SciATech, that was like the best field trip I've ever had. I thought I was never gonna have a grad night, and when we went to Disneyland, it was my first time, and I was so happy and thankful for the school to give me the opportunity to have a grad night, to have a graduation ceremony, to listen to me, to advise me, to support me, to give me um, chances and telling me to not give up and the support that Sayata gave me was great and I'm never gonna forget that. Never. Well, just like they had their own experiences with teachers, I personally had many experiences with each and every one, I believe. Uh, a very impactful one for me academically would be probably as well with Pennsylvania. I remember I was running into the school and being a sophomore, being in 10th grade, I recall, well, having that conversation of how many credits you needed, right, to graduate and everything. And there was this option that she let me know we had where we could have taken a test, right, for a subject. And the subject was English. Personally, I love English. That's my favorite subject. And when I heard about that, I'm like, oh, cool, right? It's a little test. And she's like, no, it's a big test. It's actually a couple of hours long, and you have to write essays and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, no, I can do it. I'm sure I can. And um, little did I know I aced the test, and I was so proud of myself. It was a wonderful experience having an extra help than we have in normal high school. Because in normal high school, it's always like very strict. You have to pass or not, and that actually to me is very. It's just unfair sometimes. Sometimes we all go through our own problems. Sometimes we need an extra help, and these teachers are actually there. Like all of the students here at Alumni, I mean, they explain that we have our own experiences, unique experiences with it. We have our own experiences like one on one with the teachers, and it's actually pretty cool to have them there. And we are able to not just engage as students, but these people have sometimes become our friends. Because we trust them. They're there for us, we're there for them. Help one another, and the fact that we can just sit down with them and actually have them tell us like, no, this is what you got to do, this is how you do it, and explain it step by step. That's awesome. I honestly think that is awesome, and that was great for me. I had that as well, just like each and every one of them. For me, it was in a high school diploma. That was just basically it. Without a high school diploma, I would have never gone to college, would have never received my degrees in order to become a math teacher. So having that high school diploma was the most impactful in my life to attain at SIATech. Because like I said previously, I would have never attained that high school diploma if I would have stayed where I grew up. And to describe how my confidence and outlook on my future changed, well, it changed dramatically. Because after obtaining that high school diploma, I went to Long Beach City College. I started taking college courses. And I transferred to Cal State LA, got my bachelor's degree, my credentials, my master's degrees. And now I'm working with high school students that I'm so passionate about. I like to help them. I like to support them, talk to them, chop it up. I have given a lot of advice to some of my students, personal levels, because some of them they have gone through some similar experiences that I experienced, and I see them grow. I'm actually helping right now one of your current students at your site to making sure she gets her high school diploma and go to a college and making sure everything's being put in place for her. So I'm being like a mentor to this student of yours, so making sure that they're going the right path. And that's what I really want to do is just make sure to be a mentor, a support, a system that's a positive environment for my current students and my future. And what achievements are you most proud of? Well, basically, just obtaining that high school diploma and getting all those degrees and standing right here in front of you and letting you know how real this is. Thank you. So, SciTech, as I mentioned, provided me with the most basic thing required to move anywhere in life, my diploma. And it, alongside with the diploma, it gave me that first initial push to completely change my life to where now I am in a stable, self-supportive home. I am able to provide a stable home for my kids now. And now, like I said, I mean, I work at a bank. I'm surprised I made a difference. Your opinion knows how bad I am at math. I promise I won't lose your money. She taught you well. She was there every step of the way. I was like, you can learn this. Let's break it down again. Okay, again. Okay, one more time. And then you would get it. It was great. And I still just really proud. Like I told that previously, it was that getting that high school diploma that was like the most because I've already got my associates, I'm working on my bachelor's, but still, I can't imagine it feeling better than that. Getting that diploma, getting to look at it and be like, okay, there is an out, there is something, I can do this. And like that one sensation of that confidence, of pride, of like optimism, incomparable now. I mean, I'd be saying, side diploma, my best one, the most proud of it. Yeah, getting that high school was a great feeling for me. IBC, I did graduate from IBC, got my associate's degree as well, but the ceremony in IBC, SciTech was the best because IBC, I didn't get a ceremony, I remember, because we were in pandemic. But getting my high school diploma, getting my associate's degree, being able to work with SciTech, it's a great accomplishment with me. Getting a home for my kids, giving them this new me to them, and that school is really important. Showing them that I'm already old. I'm not that old, but I'm 32, but I'm still going to school, and showing this to my kids is the best for me. And the support with the teachers. My math teacher you get into, that was my best subject. I enjoyed a lot of having math with her. English was my hardest, and Rebellia was pushing me there to get it done. And also Jose helped me with math. Thank you for all that support too, Jose, and all that advice too. Because if you didn't push me, maybe I would have not get my high school diploma. I remember I used to talk to Jose about my problems and the advice, Ivelia. And I am so thankful to have a high school diploma, an associate's degree, and now working for my BA in psychology. And I hope I accomplish that as well. Personally, with my academic, I mean, like I had mentioned before, right? The GPA part was my biggest accomplishment. I believe I I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have the confidence that I have now. I think I broke out of that in the process of high school and graduating. I became a leader, a very powerful leader. Now I work for the county of Bureau County. I work for the Department of Children's Family Services, which is CPS, in other words, which is odd because my experience during high school, I personally had CPS, like I think a CPS case, right, for my own problems at home. So, without even noticing, and now I'm working for CPS, but I like that. I actually do. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy speaking with people, being there as a motivation, inspiration, whichever I can do. I love doing that. I love working with the kids and the staff. Hopefully, I mean, who knows? I can become a social worker. I don't really know where it's going to take me. Life is going to take me. I am always waking up every day, brand new day, brand new challenge. And I like that. I like always like that. But in reality, my actual goal is to get as far as I can and make a difference. That's my actual goal at the end of the day. And with SciTech and their help and everything, it actually made me very confident the way that I can do whatever I set my mind to, no matter what, really, no matter what. I did have my talks, like they did, with all the teachers, Jose especially. Yeah, I had a lot of talks with him. He pushed me a lot, even to the point where I do not agree. We disagree to agree, right? But every each one of them was an inspiration. You get to see the different personalities, right, and how they treat you. But it's still a unique experience. So now I believe I am making a difference. I believe each and every day I can, and hopefully in the future I'm able to continue. Well, now as a math teacher, I'm also doing finalizing my credentials. So I'm in the induction program. I will start already this year, now it's 29, so that's something new for me. And also, I'm also thinking of maybe doing the administration credentials because my one of my goals is to become an assistant principal or principal, whichever comes first. So like that can help more students out in the world. Especially, I want to go back into my community where I grew up in once and help start a scientific school or something like that. And talk to the students out there and make a big difference. How did you try to prepare you? Well, it's just like we were all talking about how the high school is very important. That's basically the key moment of having to start a path. And now as a math teacher. I'm also doing some leadership where I'm also taking in charge of the esports at my school, helping students collaborate, build a community with one another, and really help change that mental state of negativity that they bring into our school. So, like that, we could use video games to help share our moments together, and hopefully, I could build that into more successful than it was previously. Well, since SciATech, basically make the improvements necessary in personal life. Proceeded on to IDC, got my associates there. Then started working in the community, the Rural Credit Union. Then
I'm also studying at San Diego State University for an English or single subject teaching. Hopefully, you guys will take me one day if I, please like the job. It'd be nice. And my time at SciTech called for very not only with the educational and academic basics, but also with the social interaction and experience. And like I said, they gave me that confidence. They gave me that push. Uh, they did a lot for me. Thank you guys so much. That's why it feels like every time I'm like, hey. And yeah, thank you.
After SciAtech, I remember I was working part-time jobs. I went to McDonald's. I worked at the outlet stores. I worked at Starbucks, the best job too. I loved it. I worked at Furnace. I had tons of jobs, but the last one was Starbucks, and I loved it. I wish I could sit as a barista, but I had to move on. I had to move upstairs and show my kids that school is very important and that we can become better and better. And I remember I started working at IDROP. That was after Starbucks to gain experience because I needed to get some office experience, and it's really hard after high school. And the only thing I had was customer service experience, so I needed some office experience. And then when I got that IVROP job was after I got my associate's degree in IVC. And then after IVROP, I saw the job opening for ITA, and I was like, and I talked to Jose about it, and I was like, what is that job about? Like, can you explain me a little bit more? And then I was like, but I don't know if I'm capable and everything. And he was like, just apply. You could do it. And I was like, okay. And then I applied. And then I got that interview. And thankfully, great, I got the job. And I've been working for you guys for 2 years. And that's a great decision I've ever made. And I will never regret it. And thank you, Jose, for that push. Thank you for that advice and everything. Because if you wouldn't tell me to do it, I would have not been here right now. And what the scientific preparing for? Oh, nothing. I am gonna be a current student of SCSU next Monday. It's gonna be my birthday. I got a psychology major, so I hope one day I can get, in 2 years, that's my goal, to get my bachelor's degree in psychology. And after that, I know what I want to do. I want to be working at a school and hopefully a SciAtech as a school counselor or a psychologist. Never know. But first, I'm gonna try to do my best in NCSU and see what goes on, because you never. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I hope I'm Chinese, but yeah, SciAtech also helped me. After SciAtech helped me got enrolled to IBC, and if they would have helped me, and I probably wouldn't have got enrolled to IBC because um, like the Jose helped me and Sasha with the IBC people would go over there and help me with the financial aid enrollment. I didn't know anything, and if they would have helped me with that, I probably didn't even enroll in IBC right after graduation. So I'm really thankful for that. That SciAtech helped me not just got my high school diploma, but get enrolled into a college right away.
Life after SciAtech for me was very challenging. At first, I did sign up for IBC Crew out of college. I did go for a associate's bachelor's in business management. I love business personally, and I was not able to continue that path due to life. Life took many twists and turns for me. I grew up being very independent. I had to be very mature at a young age. I believe about like 11, and I've been on my own. I have family, I have siblings, I have everyone, but it's different for all of us uniquely. So, because of the way life treated me, I had to move on for myself. I had to work. And I started, like, they have a lot of jobs. I personally had a lot of jobs. And it's funny that she mentioned she works at Starbucks. I also work at Starbucks. It's an awesome job. It is. It truly is. I love it too. But yes, we have to move on to those things. And after that, I started working at the dealership. I started working at the Hyundai dealership, and then I moved to Chevy. And my ambition grew. The good ambition. The good ambition grew. You know, I love my job. Sales and business for me was awesome. Like, I cannot express how much I loved helping people, and as well as being, in the finance side of things and everything. I loved it. And then after that, I had a very horrible car accident. I am here standing in front of you guys out of a miracle. I can say that. It's full honesty. And I think the person who's up there for everything, I wouldn't be here standing right in front of you guys if it wasn't for that. I survived my accident miraculously, and I was tough that year. It was 2022. And I had to get out of that depression that I had of, recovering and everything. So that time I wasn't working at the dealership anymore. But I had to get up. I had to get up and get out of the mentality that I had to move on and I had to move on for myself. I have no kids. I have two cats at home. But I still have to manage for myself. I have to live that life, to the fullest extent because we really do not know what's going to happen tomorrow. I take that very seriously now. Probably I didn't take that seriously back in the day, right? Or anyone. But really, standing in front of you guys, if I can make a difference tomorrow, I will. And that's why I say that's my goal at the end of the day, because of everything that life has thrown at me. So after that, I had to get out of that shell, like I mentioned, and I did it. I started working at a property management company. I had gotten a real estate license, and I was going through the path of becoming a real estate agent for the same company, even though I was a secretary in the making. So I was really proud of that. And then I suddenly got offered a job with the county. And that was very unexpectedly. That to me was like, here you go. Here's what you have been working for really hard. And I was more than confident that I was able to, get the job and everything, but I never put thought into it. I didn't think about it anymore. I let it be because I said, what is for me will be. And that was it. And one day I just got the call and I was more than excited. Why? Because not only do I wish I had the master's, the bachelor's, the associates, right? Like, I wish I would have had that since the very beginning, and I still do. But because of life and how my life was and everything that I have gone through in life, I am so proud of where I am today. Like, none of you guys have any idea. And I know I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna do great things, and one day I will get my master's, hopefully in business. Like I said, I like business, so I'm very confident on that, and I look forward to that every single day.
Think, and I just want to say that that it doesn't matter how long it takes to accomplish your goal, as long as just you do it and accomplish it. And that phrase for me is like, it doesn't matter how long it takes, as long as you accomplish it. That is the best phrase. I'm never gonna forget it. I always have it in my mind, because like she said, she doesn't have that, but as long as she does it, that's the importance. It doesn't matter if it's only 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, or 5 years. As long as you do, you're there. At that time, that's the important thing. Never give up, and just do what you like to do and what you love to do. I'll just add on, always, you really want to appreciate instructors who go out of their way to demonstrate their care and support for you. As that's something that is, as you guys mentioned, it's not something you receive at most high school. You don't really receive that same level of attention and dedication from your instructors. It's so much, it's such a huge support, and it's such a huge help.
to have that. And it's honestly kind of like you're lucky to be able to get that from SIATech instructors. I've never seen it at any other school, and I've attended a few. So it's really take advantage of that time that you have with someone who's willing to go an extra mile to be there for you.
I would really like to say to the teachers and staff here at SciTech is this: 4 days, love. You really gotta come in this job with love, compassion. You just can't have all your girlfriend and chill out and you really gotta do this for love. You gotta come here for compassion. You're dealing with students that are coming here with trials and tribulations, that are coming with negative stuff, negative environment, negative family. And you guys are the ones that are gonna change their whole entire love. Next, you should be authentic. You should be yourself. Let them know who you really are, where you come from, what you went through, what got you to be at this position. Why are you really doing it? You gotta be real with these students because they can smell it, they can see it, they can hum it, they can do anything they want. And what is the other one? Love, authentic. And you gotta be real with these students. You gotta be real. You gotta be raw. Okay, because many of them are coming with some crazy stuff. You gotta really sit down with it. You gotta chop it up with it. Sometimes you have to be in their zone. Okay, and when I'm talking about their zone, you gotta let them express how they want to express. That's how they let you get in their zone. Once they let you get in their zone, trust me, anything's impossible. You just do whatever you say whatever you say, and they'll be there to listen to you, and they will do it. So if you have love, authentic, real, and raw, you will make sure a big difference into the student's life. Just keep doing what you're doing. Make sure everybody's doing their thing. Make sure everybody's accountable. That is the number one, accountability. If nobody's accountable for their own actions, ain't nothing gonna be succeeding in this world. Nothing's gonna be succeeding in a cycle. Nothing's gonna be succeeding in those streets. You have to be accountable for your own actions. Make it happen.
I don't want to repeat what he said, but yes, everything that he said is 100% real. I would love for the schools to be, and keep engaging the way that they were engaged with us, right? With our own experiences, with the love and the compassion, with the accountability that he's talking about. Yes, like sometimes we were not accountable for our own actions and everything, but they were there to make us accountable. We're there to get us in trouble. I mean, we did. I'm sure we did well, did. But it's very important. It's very important, and especially since the beginning of the journey, I think the only thing that I can say that I would love seeing more, only because possibly if when I told you guys that my grandmother signed me up for the school because of a reference, what if that reference was not even there, right? Because I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know about the school whatsoever. I didn't see a sign. I didn't see anything online, And I think nowadays social media has gotten very important for all of us. So promoting the school, putting it out there, I know that school is not probably part of like the school district and it's different, right? And everything. But I know we can. I know we can, put it out there more. We can put out the word that, not all the students really belong in these other schools, right? There's SciTech, and I didn't belong in another school, even though people agreed that I did, but I didn't because I wasn't that type of student. And see, now here I am, here we all are. So I think that's also very important. That's the only advice I have, and they all kept it real, and that's it. I think I like to end with that. So